Hello everybody, I hope you guys are all been having a great semester. So today we will be talking about Alex Marie's photography. Now this project was an advertising media plan, like assessment for her, for the company, which I actually had a lot of fun going over and looking at it, me being a photographer my own self. So let's kind of dive into it. So the first thing to kind of look at is the behind the brand. So the company was founded in 2015 and is based out in Virginia. And Make It Better is based out in Lynchburg, Virginia, right in our backyard. The owner and CEO, Alexandra Marie, she is a native from California who basically her style of photography, when I looked up more about her, was basically aesthetics and its nature. But she also specializes in doing wedding photography and implements, which I will basically get into as we go through this presentation. A lot of her work has been award-winning photography, and another thing with her business that they specialize in capturing the love and the passion and just a whole bunch of just positive energy when she's taking her photos, as you see when you're looking at her website. Now, some of the things to kind of highlight about the company, what they're kind of involved in. They do engagement photos. They do wedding photos. They do photos for anniversaries, employments. I think if I said that right, it's a very small gathering. It's not like how you go to a big wedding. There's a whole bunch of vendors and everything. No, it's very, very small. It's more of a handful of people. Thrift, the dress, and so forth. Now going into the next part is looking at her mission statement, which is basically for her is capturing genuine human connection in a way that is wild, raw, full, and fun. Now hearing that, doesn't that just make you want to just look more into her website and even just pick her brain, let her and see the work that she has presented, not just on her website, but also on her platforms as well too, which again we will get into that. Now the next part is looking at some of the company objectives. For them, it's always to maintain award-winning style of content especially in the photography industry. The next one is also to try to identify areas of improvement and rapid growth, which is basically also like personality regions of progress for a quick development. Because for them, they want to continue to grow. They want to continue to be fully well known all over the place, not just in Lynchburg, but not even as I saw in the DC area, or for her being a person that's from California, but all known all over the place. So when you think of weddings, you think of Alex Marie photography. And then the next part of their objectives is provide recommendations for identifying opportunities for growth. So for them as a company, they want to be able to also grow as well too. So they give proposals to distinguish chance of development. For them, they also want themselves. They want to be able to grow. They want to try to find new ways to grow as well. Now there's this thing that she has is called in front of the lens, what she tries to capture through when she's doing her photography. And that some of those things that she tries to cover is engaged. What I mean by engaged is basically the interaction that you see between the two couples that are about to basically spend the rest of their lives together at that very moment, which then comes down to walking down. The couples that would be walking down, which leads to couples walking down the aisle. And then goes down to taking photos of other couples that maybe that they're friends that they invited, that couples that have been together for years. It can go as far as the mother and father. It can be as best friends or whoever else they invited, which then goes to the next part, which is also of families, mothers to be, and even first time parents. Now the next part of this analysis is now looking at their media, like where are they on the spectrum of their platforms. So there are mainly three platforms I saw that we were given that they are mainly on. It is Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And if you can tell, how I said it was basically the list of what's the top one, what is their second one, and what is their third one platform that they're really using. And as you can see, Instagram is one of the main platforms that they use to market themselves. And of course, anyone would use Instagram because it's very visually appealing. You see everyone's photos, you see everyone's videos, and capturing, and they can put a whole bunch of filters on that as they want to. And when you look at their Instagram, you see how everything has a color pattern, which is aesthetically appealing to the visual eye. And for them, they already have a large following. She has a large following already, almost 30,000 followers. So just that presence alone helps very much so. And also being able to them posting almost every single day or every other day. About I think in my report that I had, it was about 4 to 6 times a week that they are constantly posting. The next platform is Facebook. And with Facebook, they mainly use Facebook as a platform to, look for other clients. Not saying they don't do that on Instagram, the market, but they also use that. They also use Facebook to also look for clients as well too, more fan database, to stay connected with their current clients, to look for even future clients, and even like past clients that they might have had, and they probably aren't with them anymore, and everything. And next part of them using Facebook is basically also for them to present the backstory of the photos during their sessions. And then for them, the posting for them frequently on that is basically like month to month, monthly that they would post. And then the final social media platform they use is YouTube. It's mainly used for like vlogging, the events that they do. And also for mentoring or even for like tutorials. And of course for them there's not a lot of posting on their site. Now the next part, which is the juicy part of this whole assignment, is basically looking at the SWOT analysis that we did. We were kind of like pinpoint and kind of just pick apart. So I'm just gonna say what the strengths were, which were basically the brand continuity. Yes, sorry, I can't pronounce that. The aesthetic, how the brand itself is aesthetically pleasing, the engagement that they have with their consumers on their posts. Always again coming out with award-winning products all the time, and also offering like just other services for people. I know when we got into the assignment, there was also there was also like a tutorials on Lightroom, which is another editing software, which where if I see that, I can now see their process. Okay, so this is what they use for their photos to make everything so pop and to tell their story through it. All these strengths are very good strengths for their company. And then if we go look at the next slide, which is the weaknesses. One of the weaknesses is basically their lack of presence on Twitter. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm also the same way as well too. I've had moments where I'm not really on Twitter as a content creator, but as I've noticed more so with people, even my own clients have talked to me about it, Twitter is also another strong platform to be on if you want to make your presence known. But on that one, it's not, even though there's more text, people still love looking at visual content and always love sharing it, And then the next point that I have on here, is there's very little like practically no client services. There's very little. So being able to kind of stay on top of that and having clients give their feedback about their experience and about the photos and everything like that, I think would help them a lot more. And then finally on the weakness side is basically a lack of basically promoting the other offers that they have. I think as a company, if you're trying to promote yourself and trying to promote, also you have other options for people to look at, I would think you would want to post and you want to like talk more about it. But now we're going to get into some of the opportunities for them to grow that they've been looking for. One of them is utilizing Twitter, which in retrospect, that would be the best idea for them. And to go reach out to their clients, whether it's past or current, and get their feedback about their experience. So then they can post more on what's going on their website, or even they can also go as far as putting it on their social media platforms, so people can because a lot of times people will see it on their platform first, and then make sure it's the same information is also shown on their website. And then also finally, which I think is probably the best opportunity for them, is videography. Adding videography into their toolbox as a wedding photography company will bring more of an audience to their website. The reason being is because you should always be able to try to tell stories, not just through photos, but also through videos. And also, we live in a visual era, so adding videography into your toolbox will be just an amazing idea, in my own opinion. And I know that will help them as well too. And then some of the threats, costs, because everyone, again, this is such a competitive market that everyone's trying to look for the best price for the best quality of photos. And then just the idea of just not really being able to use videography to their repertoire. So my recommendation for them is basically to create and utilize the tool Twitter into their social media platform. Always try to implement videography. Look for videography position for them to be more visually appealing for their audience, because it will help in many different aspects, and also offer day-by-day motivation that drives the brand. But again, thank you for the opportunity to kind of share what I've thought from this presentation, and hope you all have a good day.